What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today we're going to do the overall season preview of the National Hockey League. So get yourself buckled in. We're going to be here for a little bit. Start my playoff teams, each division. Atlantic Division, I got Tampa going back to the playoffs. I think they're going to be a lot healthier into this season. I think statistically speaking, they missed more man games than a lot of teams last year. And obviously, Stamkos being one of the big ones. They went through the process of re-signing him and making sure one of the best goal scorers in the league will spend the majority of his career in Tampa, and whoops, got hurt early and just kind of they were in the hunt all year, but they didn't miss the playoffs and left themselves in a less than advantageous situation. But they got a ton of depth. They're a good team, and that's without even mentioning how great of a player Nikita Kucherov is, and how excellent Victor Hedman is. We'll get back to Hedman later on, but. Yeah, I get Tampa back. I get Toronto as a 2 seed in the Atlantic Division. I mean, what more needs to be said about Toronto? The kids are all right. I think there'll be some sophomore slumps where maybe Matthews goes 2 points in 6 games type shit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to hold them back. The team is just that good. Those kids are just that talented. What are you going to do? And besides, Toronto gets enough for that. I don't need to spend an extended period of time soliloquying about the Toronto Maple Leafs 2017-2018 season. And I think Marlowe's an upgrade over Hyman on that line with Matthews. Hopefully Babcock utilizes that, on a pretty regular and consistent basis. The Montreal Canadiens are my 3 seed in the Atlantic Division. I think Drouin gives you some offensive pop. Shea Weber's still Shea Weber. And obviously, you got the best goalie in the world who won't have to worry about his contract situation because that got taken care of over the summer. You're in the driver's seat in terms of making a playoffs push in the Eastern Conference. Not in love with the way the Habs are put together, but they're good enough to be the 3rd team in the Atlantic Division playoff picture. Metro Division, Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins could be 1 seed. They're going for 3. They got a hell of a team. I mean, I know they between the expansion draft and everything they've lost some pieces, but they're still the Pittsburgh Penguins and they're still one of the Metro Division regular season title. 2 seed, I got the Columbus Blue Jackets. They took some steps forward last season. They shook things up a bit. They got to get Anderson re-signed. That's obviously a big thing. But, they're provided that happens or they make a trade and get requisite depth, they're in amazing shape to be back and build upon last year's success. And the 3 seed, I got the Washington Capitals. Given Oshie, that contract wasn't exactly ideal, but they're still a playoff team in the East. Ovechkin's still Ovechkin. He turns 32 this year. Oh, shit. Seems like he actually turned 32 last month. Fake news, I lied. But, just watching him grow up has been something interesting. Definitely an intriguing situation there in Washington, and, does another postseason failure bring about major sweeping changes? We shall see. Wildcard teams, I got Carolina as the first wildcard team. I think they're going to be really good. They've really upgraded now with Scott Darling. The question's going to be, how much can he take over the course of the season? We'll see. That defense is amazing. You look at Slavin, you look at Hannafin, Justin Folks there. They've really got an amazing group on defense, and they've got guys like Jake Bean and Hayden Fleury coming up through the pipeline with his reinforcements there, and they're a team that can make a move for a Matt Duchene type player. And, that forward group's improved. You look at what Aho's done. You look at Jeff Skinner. You look at some of the other guys, Theo Teravainen even. They're there. And they're going to be a tough out. I see this will be, in my opinion, Carolina's first postseason appearance since 2009. So, 9 years. Oh, sure. Then my second wildcard team, I got the New York Islanders. Tavares' contract year. It's going to be topic of discussion all season long until he inevitably signs his extension with the Islanders. But that team's it's good. They've got the pieces to make it work. I like the Jordan Eberle trade. I think Strome kind of world is welcome. Burned a few bridges in New York, and anytime you can have a player like Jordan Eberle, two really talented mix, I think that's it's been pretty good. And I think Andrew Ladd will bounce back. He won't be. He got off to such a shit start last season that it's painful watching him play those first 20, 25 games, but. Down the stretch and play that bad, and I think he's such a good player. He's got such a proven track record. He'll be back. That defense, with Letty and Johnny Boychuk at the helm, and I think Ryan Pulak will get, some extended time, and he'll be a big factor. So, I like the Islanders to take that wild card spot. First two out in the Eastern Conference, I got Buffalo. They'll make some strides, but I still don't see them as a playoff team. I think Jack Eichel will be one of the elite scorers in the league this year, provided he stays healthy. Still don't have them as a playoff team. I think Phil Housley will do a good job there. Still don't have them as a playoff team. And then New York Rangers. I know Rangers fans are going to hate me and, what about fucking Shattenkirk and guy, fucking King Hank? It's like, no. They're not a playoff team, and it's not really a knock on the Rangers. I just think a lot of these good young teams in the Eastern Conference are ready to take that next step. And I think the Rangers, they're kind of in the same boat as Washington. Maybe I'm overrating the Capitals, underrating the Rangers. Not the first time, but we'll see what happens. Like, Shattenkirk's still a good signing. I think anytime you get a defenseman like that willing to take less money to play for you, you do it. But I just don't see them. I think this is the year they miss the playoffs and they start going with more of a youth movement. So we'll see what happens. Central Division, I got Chicago with some really good, talented young players in the mix. Brandon Saad's back in town. Patrick Sharp, I think, will bounce back from a subpar 2 years in Dallas. I think if he's healthy, he can really be a good middle six forward for this Blackhawks team. Having a guy like that in the folds for not a lot of money is always a good thing. Proven guy in Chicago, by the way. Kane and Taves are still there. Panarin's obviously gone, but we'll see what happens with the Saad reunion. I like the trade. I think Ryan Hartman's ready to score, that 22, 23 goals and be an absolute pain in the balls. I mean, I think he can be that kind of 2011. I know 2010, 2011 was Marchand's rookie year. He's been up a little bit the year before. But I think Hartman's ready to be that guy in the Blackhawks lineup. Just a gut feeling. And then I got the Nashville Predators, reigning Western Conference champions. Added Nick Bonino. They're still kind of on the hunt for another forward. They re-signed Ryan Johansson. Ryan Ellis is out for an extended period of time, but defense is deep enough. Obviously, PK Subban's amazing. I don't think Pekka Rinne's game is ready to go to shit just yet. He's getting older, though, but then again, we all are. And that's a team to keep an eye on, too. And then we got the Dallas Stars. You get Ben Bishop, you add Martin Hansley, add Alex Radulov to an already potent offensive lineup. Radulov, Sagan, Jamie Benn might put the fear of God in a few opposing defenses on the line, or a power play unit. And I'm curious to see how Ken Hitchcock, his second go-around in Dallas, works. Hitch has burned a few bridges in his day, and that's just the reality of it. It's never getting back with your ex doesn't always work out as well as you think it does, because you think about the great times you had with your ex, and then you realize there was a reason you broke up in the first place, and kind of blows up in your face. So we'll see what happens. That it's a bug over there. Long story short, Central Division probably the deepest in hockey. You get those two, and then Minnesota, Winnipeg's knocking on the door. Obviously, Colorado's a joke, but they're there. It's going to be a battle in that division. Those are going to be the games to watch. Those Chicago, Minnesota games on a Wednesday night on NBC Sports are going to be the ones that you're like, holy shit, this already feels like a playoff atmosphere. And that's going to be the theme of that division all year long. Going further out west, the Pacific Division. I got Edmonton winning the division. I mean, my friend Connor McDavid, he's okay. He's not bad at hockey. And I think that team's ready to be the next great young team, a la Pittsburgh, a la Chicago, the last decade. And they're there. They're knocking on the door in the Western Conference, and the Stanley Cup might just be on the other side of that door. Second seed in the West, I got Anaheim. Always like the Ducks. Always going to play it tough. Getzlaf and Perry will be 33 in January, and I think Perry's birthday's in March or April. But, we'll see what happens. Still, tough out. Love Ryan Castle's game. That defense is good. The defense is really mobile. And they've got some young kids coming that can play. So, we'll see what happens in Anaheim. And Randy Carlisle second go around with the Ducks. As he was there last year. But it's still kind of like the Ken Hitchcock thing, where it's like, getting back with your ex isn't the most ideal set of circumstances. And then my third playoff team, I got the Calgary Flames. I'm really excited to see the line of Goudreau, Monahan, and Yager, just to see social media explode, because you get the boring Sean Monahan Twitter account. Everyone loves Goudreau, and Yager is like that ironically really hip old guy. And I think he's going to fit in well. He'll be 46 this season. I love watching Yager. I think it's funny. Yager won the Stanley Cup 3 months before I was born in '91. And when he played in the Stanley Cup Final with the Bruins in 2013. I was drinking in a bar watching him play. So legally, by the way, we don't break laws of power play with CJ. Not all the time. Other two Western Conference playoff teams, I got San Jose. Any team with Brent Burns and those guys is going to be really good. They're going to miss Patrick Marleau, but they're another team that's got some really talented young kids knocking on the door. I think Danny O'Regan from BU will actually be a sleeper, really good rookie this year. In whatever action he gets with the Sharks, I mean, he won Rookie of the Year in the AHL. He's proven he can score. He's a good two-way player, and coaches love that shit. And then I got Minnesota. My good friend Charlie Coyle, I think will have a really good year. Parisi and Suter, I think, will start to decline, but you look at what Devin Dubnyk gives this team, in net, and the offensive productivity they got out of guys like Granlund and Niederreiter, and they're going to need more of the same from that. And I like Joel Eriksson next game. I think he's ready to take that next step as well. So they're an interesting, very, very interesting team. And I like Jason Zucker's another one that I think will be, in that 18 to 24 goal range. So again, that's the team I like. That's the last Western Conference playoff team. My first two out in the West, I got Winnipeg. Winnipeg's kind of like Buffalo. They're close, but they're not there yet. I think Patrick Laine, I feel about him. I think he's going to have a really good sophomore year. I think, again, it's kind of like the Toronto thing where a sophomore slump will be, 2 points in 6 games and the sky is falling, but at the end of the day, the kid can play. And then St. Louis. I know St. Louis was great under Mike Yeo, but I think with the man games, they're already slated to lose to injury between Fabry and some of the key components. You're like, shit. I just don't have them as a playoff team in the West. Don't hate me for thinking that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So, Kevin Shattenkirk's former team and Kevin Shattenkirk's new team are both my first two out in each conference. So, what are you going to do? Award season, Vezina Trophy, Carey Price. That's kind of one of those things. I think Price will really have a great year in year one of his new contract. It's actually year one of his new contract kicks in next season. I'm not kidding. The first year after signing a big extension, I should say, and I think he's going to be excellent. I think Claude Julien's defensive system will help him out a little bit, and the Habs are going to need him to be excellent because, as we saw 2 years ago, when he's not stellar, bad things happen to the Montreal Canadiens. Norris Trophy, I got Victor Hedman. I think you look at how elite he is, coupled with the fact that Eric Carlson's going to miss some time coming out of the gate, and Hedman will claim the title as the best Swedish defenseman in the NHL this season. There's obviously some other really deserving candidates. PK Subban's phenomenal. Brent Burns is excellent, but I think this is the year Hedman finally wins the Norris Trophy. Jack Adams, I got Bill Peters. I think he's going to really help elevate Carolina to be in that playoff team and kind of be a thorn on the side of some of the better teams in the East this year. They've got some really talented youngsters, and I think this is the year it kind of comes together. Big question mark, like I already said, is going to be Scott Darling. How does he handle the workload of being a number one goalie? That's going to be something to monitor. But again, I think they're going to be a fun team to watch this year. Which, given how much attendance has fallen in Raleigh, they're going to need. Calder Trophy, Clayton Keller, Arizona Coyotes. Arizona's not going to win a lot of games, but their young talent's going to be worth watching. So no different than the last couple of years. But I think Keller's going to be a really nice fit and be a guy that can flirt with 55 points as a rookie. And anyone that watched him play college hockey, like I did, will back him in that. Rocket Rashad winner, I think Steven Stamkos comes back in style. Like if this were like the NBA or MLB where they had comeback player of the year, Stamkos would win it. I'm thinking 48 goals from Stammer. He's pretty good at putting the puck in the net. Art Ross, most points. I got John Tavares, and I also have him as the Hart Trophy winner. I think he is going to will the Islanders in the playoffs. They are not the strongest team on paper. They're in a less than ideal arena situation, but I think Tavares is just so good. He's going to say, "Get on my fucking back. I'm going to take us to the Eastern Conference playoffs." So that's what's going to happen. Selke Trophy, Patrice Bergeron. Who else? Number 37. If not, then if they gave it to wingers, I'd probably pencil in Brandon Saad. But I don't think they don't. They just refuse to vote for wingers because I think Saad's defensive game is excellent. And guys, P.S. I know the lighting sucks, but whatever. It is what it is. My all-rookie team, I got Nolan Patrick, Clayton Keller, and Nico Heischer. Nico Heischer. I don't want to say Nico Heischer. The fuck is wrong with me? The top two picks, and the stud out of BU. So those are your forwards. I got McAvoy and Sergachev on defense. Charlie McAvoy. The Bruins won't be great this year, but by God, is he going to be worth the price of admission on a night-in, night-out basis. And then Sergachev, I think, in Tampa is in a really, really ideal situation to do some things as a teenager in that lineup. And then playoffs. Talk about playoffs. Jamora. I got Tampa over Pittsburgh in the Eastern Conference Finals. I got Nashville over Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals. And I got the Tampa Bay Lightning winning the 2018 Stanley Cup in 6 games. Tampa 14-1 to win the Cup right now. If you're gambling, get on that. Put some money on the Lightning. 14-1, $100 wins you. I think 110 wins you 1540, something like that. Do it. Get your bookie on the phone. Throw $100 on there. I was gonna say, "Why your money back?" But I'm not refunding anyone's gambling monies. I got enough. So anyway, that's the 2017-2018 Power Play with CJ preview. That'll probably be all wrong. So later, guys.